What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another video. Step into my classroom, pull out a chair, make yourselves at home. Okay, now that's the reading passage for today's task 3 question, and it's an announcement, okay? Now, because the reading passage is an announcement, the beginning sentence is, according to the announcement, the university is planning to. And the ending sentence is, even though or therefore because the school believes that this decision will, blah, 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 the man or woman supports or opposes the university's new plan. Now you're gonna say therefore, because, and supports when the person in the conversation agrees or likes the reading passage. And you're gonna say even though and opposes if the person in the conversation did not like the announcement. Fairly simple, right? Okay, now let's read the passage together and take notes, which I already did, but let's see what I took notes on. The university is beginning construction on a student cafe in the library basement. Okay, that's the new plan. So what did I do? I just changed beginning into begin. That's all I did, because after the university is planning to, you have to write a verb in its original form, okay? All right, so that's the beginning sentence. Begin construction on a student cafe in the library basement. That's word for word what the reading passage shows us. And that's fine, because after 45 seconds of reading, the reading passage for task 3 disappears. So it's okay to copy for this reading passage. All right, now let's continue reading and look for the upside, okay? Which will be ready for service by October 31st. The cafe will provide students with easy access to snacks and beverages. There it is. Now, we just copied that sentence once again from the verb. Provide students with easy access to snacks and beverages. We're done, guys. We're done. All right, now let's listen to the conversation.
Listen to a conversation on the same topic and take notes.
It seems they're finally putting a cafe in the library's basement.
Yeah, I heard. I can't understand why they're doing such a thing.
Really? Why do you say that?
Well, I heard it's only going to sell junk food like donuts, chips, and candy bars. You know, stuff like that.
What? No fruits or healthy alternatives?
Nope, just junk food, which is terrible for people and really unhealthy. The cafe should at least offer some good food and drinks, but it won't.
That's not good.
No, it isn't. Also, it's simply too close. Well, it's inside the library. How do you think that will affect students? Well, it'll give them an easy excuse to procrastinate. They'll go down there and hang out with their friends instead of focusing on their schoolwork. At least having to go off campus keeps more students in the library, because the shops are far away.
I see your point.
Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I think this new cafe in the library isn't such a good idea.
Okay. The man in the conversation did not like the university's new plan, and the first reason was the student cafe will only sell junk food like donuts and chips, which are terrible for students and unhealthy. As a result, should offer some good food and drinks. Now the second reason is too close because inside library. So procrastinate means waste time. Procrastinate and hang out with friends instead of focusing on work. So after instead of, if you want to write a verb, it needs to be ing, okay? All right, now that we know what we're gonna say, we should be able to organize our response from beginning to end and get a very good grade, okay? All right, now here's my sample response. Okay, let me set this up right here. All right, here it is. If you are a subscriber who already knows how to utilize the task 3 template, please try to lip sync along with my sample response. If you're a first-time viewer, please go back to my channel, click the videos tab, and watch the first task 3 video that I uploaded. It's gonna help you get a better idea of what's gonna happen. According to the announcement, the university is planning to begin construction on a student cafe in the library basement. However, the man is not looking forward to this. First and foremost, the man mentioned that the new student cafe will only sell junk food like donuts and chips, which are terrible for students and really unhealthy. As a result, he believes that the new student cafe should offer some good food and drinks. On top of this, the man also said that the student cafe is simply too close because it's inside the library. Consequently, many students will procrastinate and hang out with their friends instead of focusing on their work because of this new decision. Even though the school believes that this new plan will provide students with easy access to snacks and beverages, the man opposes the university's new decision for these two reasons mentioned in the conversation. Okay, so what I did for this response is, since I ended the second reason by saying because of this decision, I changed the template just a little bit. It's supposed to be the school believes that this decision will, but I decided to say plan will, because if I say decision again right here, it's going to sound redundant, all right? So since I said decision in this part, at the end, at the very end, I said the man opposes the university's new decision, okay? So hopefully you understand what I did. I said decision first, and then plan second, and then went back to decision third, okay? So that my speech doesn't sound too repetitive. All right, now that you heard my sample response for task 3, please go back to the beginning part of the problem-solving process, please. If you understand my problem-solving process, if you really, sincerely understand it, then the questions are going to become very simple. So please, if you didn't understand, fully comprehend any part of the problem-solving process, rewind the video, go back to the beginning, and watch it at least one more time, okay? All right, now let's go over to task 4. That's the reading passage for today's task 4 question. So the topic is diffusion of responsibility. Now, let's look for the topic word, diffusion of responsibility, by skimming through the reading passage. Now, I see the topic word in the 5th line for me. The sentence starts with in most cases. In most cases, the diffusion of responsibility leads to people having a lessened sense of personal responsibility. Thank you so much. Copy it. Copy the sentence from leads to until the period. That's the definition, guys. Hopefully you understood what the reading passage just said. But to be honest, it doesn't even matter if you didn't, as long as you took notes like this, okay? Because there are no grammar mistakes and there are no misunderstandings. Why? Because you were able to copy the reading passage. As I said before, the reading passage for task 3 and 4 disappears after 45 seconds. So it's okay to copy the reading passages, all right? Now, since we're done with the passage, let's listen to the lecture.
Listen to a lecture about the same topic and take notes.
Let's say that 2 bad car accidents occur in the same place. However, one accident occurs in the morning when many people are commuting to work, and the other one occurs at night when there are few people on the road. Now, for which accident are people more likely to stop and render assistance to the injured, the morning or night accident? Anyone? Well, surprisingly enough, statistics show that people in the night accident are more likely to receive assistance from a passing motorist. Let me explain why. It's called diffusion of responsibility. Simply put, in the morning there are many cars going by. While some people may want to stop, they also have other obligations like getting to work. Since there are many other drivers, they convince themselves that someone else will stop and help the injured. Of course, in most cases, no one stops because everyone has passed on the responsibility to other passers-by. For the night accident, though, there are, fewer people on the road. Therefore, a passing motorist may experience a stronger feeling of responsibility, since the likelihood of someone else coming by is low. Again, statistics show that passing motorists on little-traveled roads are much more likely to stop, and that is how diffusion of responsibility works.
All right. Now, what we're going to do for this response is we're gonna ignore in addition to this because there is no in addition to this. It was just one long example of 2 car accidents. As strange as that might sound, it was one example about car accidents, okay? Now, I'm gonna bring you a little bit closer to the board, okay? All right, let's get right up in there. All right, now let's look at the first section. 2 bad car blank accidents happened in morning and at night. And surprisingly enough, people at night were more likely to receive assistance because in the morning, people have many obligations. So convince themselves that others will stop and help, but no one actually stops. On the other hand, at night, people felt or would feel a stronger sense of personal responsibility because it is less likely for others to stop and help injured or the injured. Okay, so those are the lecture's information. Now that we know what to say, let's go back. Let's come back here. Hold on. Let's get back here. Yeah, oh, sorry for the shake. All right. Now, let's listen to my sample response. Doing a lot of moving this video, huh? You guys are seeing the entire production process. All right. Okay, here's my sample response. In the lecture, the professor elaborated on a specific example of car accidents to explain the concept of diffusion of responsibility. To begin with, 2 bad car accidents happened in the morning and at night, and surprisingly enough, people at night were more likely to receive assistance. This was because in the morning, people had many obligations, so they convinced themselves that others will stop and help. However, no one actually stopped. On the other hand, at night, people felt a stronger sense of personal responsibility simply because it was less likely for others to stop and help the injured. To sum up, this was a perfect example of diffusion of responsibility, which leads to people having a lessened sense of personal responsibility, given by the professor in the lecture. All right, now, for this response, you're gonna say responsibility multiple times, but don't feel bad about that. Since the topic has the word responsibility in it, there's no way around that. Please don't use synonyms for the topic that's given in the task 4 question. Don't change a single word for the topic in the topic, okay? Now, and within the lecture's information as well, don't forget fluency is king. And looking for a synonym of responsibility, a synonym of responsibility is liability, but in this context, that sounds really awkward. So once again, within the lecture summarization, there really wasn't a choice either. So what I'm saying is, if you can't think of a synonym, even if you don't want to use that same word again, if you're not able to think of a synonym pretty quickly, just say the same word, because fluency is number 1 when it comes to speaking. All right? Now, that's the end of today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I really hope that my sample responses helped you guys in any shape or form. If you have any questions about the responses, please utilize the comment section to your benefit. And if you have a personal question or would like to ask me about anything personally, send me an email or contact me via Facebook Messenger. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.